All right, we should now be live. Hi, I am Kara858, and today we're here for episode 14 of It's Our World. Thank you all for coming by and taking a look at our stream. As always, we appreciate it. And here at the Cookout, we always like to give love and support to different individuals in the community, give out shout outs to different channels, different Twitches. Perhaps you can take a look at their content, give them a follow, and support them on their endeavors. So first, you would like to give a shout out for is one of the brand new D&D channels that's been coming in right before Critical Role. It's called the Black Dice Society, which is a fantastic show featuring characters of the DM is B. Dave Walters. You have Cypher of Tyr. You have one of the individuals from Vampire the Masquerade. I forgot her name. I think it's like Neurological. It's a fantastic cast. Becca Scott, like I said, it's an incredible cast placed in the world of Ravenloft. So it's definitely like a more darker side to your D&D. You will love this content, and especially if you have Easter egg knowledge of previous D&D versions, you may recognize some characters that they brought in into the fold. It definitely created quite a bit of shock to people within the chat. So if you can, definitely go ahead and watch their show. It's an incredible show, and we look forward to seeing more of their content in the future. The second person we would like to give a shout out for is always one of my favorite shows on Twitch. It's called Kids on Bikes, which is a essentially Kids on Bike show on Roll20, which features a primary POC cast. Is wrapping up to the end of their first season, so you can catch up all of their episodes on YouTube as well as Twitch. And the series is great because they have very endearing characters who all feel like children. And the content that they go through in the show, it just feels so relatable with that little bit of essence of like science fiction and eeriness. It definitely fully nails that one Netflix show where I pretty sure it's now on the tip of my tongue because I'm trying to talk about it. But I'm pretty sure y'all know Stranger Things. There you go, Stranger Things. It definitely has that Stranger Things feel to the T. So if you can, we would definitely love to hopefully see if they could get a season 2 so we can give them some support and watch their episodes. It'd be awesome. And the last person we would like to give a shout out for, of course, as always, is a good friend of mine's, Rosebell Arts. She just recently had her 10K follower stream this Saturday. She's a fantastic individual. I first met her back when she barely just started. I think she had maybe around 40 or 50 followers during that time frame. It was from a Plague Tale Innocence game. I had no idea that she was an artist. She streamed the next session being an artist, and then she essentially just took off to where she currently is at nowadays. She's an incredible individual, very sweet, very giving, and a great member of the community. So if you can, definitely go ahead and continue to give Rosebell support and follow her on her endeavors. So with that said, we're going to go ahead and introduce our cast, have them mention their names, their social medias, as well as any projects that they're working on. And we'll start first with Nezra. Nezra, would like to talk a little bit about yourself?
Hey guys, I'm Wanderer Tex on Twitter and Discord, and point one not in the chat here. So I'm doing a couple of different creative projects I'm super excited about. None of them are really at the point where I can talk about what they are, but it's been really nice to get into some of that. Oh, and I'm the DM for Rivenwood Academy. I kind of forgot that that is actually going to start on Wednesday. No, my Wednesday, Stateside Tuesday. But I'm really, really excited to bring like this magic school to life and see kind of where it goes. And yeah, let's see what happens.
Fantastic. We definitely will be talking about Riverwood Academy a bit and more in the future. But next, we'll go ahead and go down the line. Ree, you'd like to talk a little bit about yourself, plug your socials, and any upcoming projects you have coming up.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I am at Big Dude Ree on Twitter, where if you have been paying attention, you would have seen the reveal for my young high wizard, my young high elf wizard boy, and Riven in the upcoming Academy D&D game. So I hope you all tune in to see what he gets up to, and I'm sure today will be uneventful and fun.
Okay, if you say so. Going down to the bottom of our list, Serena, she's back with us for today's stream. Mimsy, you'd like to talk a little bit about yourself, plug your socials, and talk about any projects that you have.
Sure. Hi, everyone. I am Mimsy or Morgan, whichever you prefer. I am on Instagram at Peachakeen Arts. And I don't have any projects right now. I did revamp my Instagram, so I'm starting to post a lot more. So that's fun. And I'm excited to play today.
Awesome. Glad to have Mimsy back. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to make it with us last time. But, it's always great to have her back to join us. Next, of course, we have Fell Flames. Zach, if you mind, talk a little bit about yourself, plug your socials and your projects that you're currently working on.
Hello. You can follow me places at the Halo Museum. I have hey look, I just tagged a random person that's not me. Oops. I have an Instagram, but mostly I have been using Twitter. Other than that, I will see you at Rivenwood Academy. I'm very excited to begin my schooling.
Fantastic. And definitely last, but certainly not least, we have Achilles, Adrian B. You'd like to talk a little bit about yourself, plug your socials, and of course, your upcoming projects. You'd like to talk about it?
Sure thing. Hey guys, I'm Adrian Bear, and you can find me on Twitch and Twitter at the Bearpin with an H at the end. And some of the people here in chat are cast members with me on our Vampire the Masquerade game, which we will be playing tomorrow at 2 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time now. PDT, right? That's what it stands for, isn't it? PST?
PST. Pacific, yeah.
Either way. For me, it's 5 a.m. in the morning on Monday, but for y'all in the States, it's at least LA side, it's 2 p.m. So come around and join us. It'll be episode 2. You can still catch up on the VOD on the Twitch channel or the YouTube channel as well. And I'm holding thumbs for no technical difficulties tomorrow morning.
Yes, that was an awesome experience. In case you were not around for that first episode, we had a solid hour of great old technical difficulties, bitrate issues, audio problems, and we all mentioned that if you're streaming right, you're always going to have problems in the first episode. It's guaranteed to happen. But the first episode still came out absolutely fantastic, so we definitely would like for you all to take a look at it. As for yours truly, of course, I am Kira858. I will be bringing in Riverwood Academy, as mentioned, this Tuesday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is our Magic School Academy, which features many of the individuals listed in this cast. There may also be some upcoming surprises coming in either this stream or the next stream. So definitely keep an eye out for that, for perhaps some giveaways, some prizes. Like I said, pay attention to our Twitter and more for that content. Outside of that, I'll be, of course, working on my artwork. I have art streams listed here where I'll be working on content from Snowstorm Comics as well as other projects on the side. So yeah, that is myself. And now we're going to bring up our intro for episode 14 of It's Our World. And we are now back. All right. Fell Flames, take it away.
So, through a series of unfortunate events in our last episode, the party had split up and famously reunited towards the end of the episode. The band is back together, and everyone is happier for it. Also, Ikara survived, which I think everyone is very thankful for. However, in coming to a particular tree that was to provide you some coverage from above, just in case, you all were visited by a strange man in a purple suit and bowler hat made out of leaves, whose name remains unknown. You do not know the name of this individual.
You've kind of stepped out of nowhere there, sir. Good day.
He
Are
takes
you
off
not
his
worried
hat,
about the dragon?
takes off his hat, puts it across his chest. No, not worried. So much worried about that at all. And I haven't come from nowhere. I've come from the tree, of course.
Fair
Sorry.
play.
When you say you've come from the tree, trees generally aren't like starting locations. You mean from the woods?
Oh no, it certainly wasn't a starting location. In this case, it was an ending location.
What?
Hello, my name is Nezra. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr.
Well, hello, Nezra. My name is. I am semi-professional DM who totally had my notes up. I'm
It's always on
also.
the other page. It's always on the other page. Whatever you need.
I'm
Yeah.
also a dirty liar.
Oh no.
Orana.
Orana.
I have posted it for
Oh.
you.
Yeah, gotcha.
Dang.
Orana.
I spelled that completely wrong.
So did I. Well, it's a pleasure, Mr. Arana. You will excuse me, I am a little bit distracted. And Nezra is still fussing over Ikara, trying to make sure that he's at full health. I don't know if we managed to heal you all the way last time.
Almost. I think I was only down by like 2 hit points, I think. Oh no, actually no, I was at 32, so I was down by 6 hit points.
Mr. Arana, I'm Achilles. Well, you'll forgive us for being perhaps a bit busy right now, or perhaps a bit shocked. We're not expecting somebody else to come from a tree. Is there some way we can help you, or perhaps are you looking for conversation, or
Well, no, that wouldn't be so bad. However, mostly I could not help but to overhear your dreadful story. Now, a dragon, that sounds quite horrifying. And he looks over to the skyline where the dragon is still kind of disappearing into the distance at this point.
So Ikara's like holding on, I guess, to Nezra while she's healing him. But at the same time, he's definitely looking at this individual. Can he get like a sense of his ki? Because he seems very different from most people he's actually seen before. So he's trying to determine. Go ahead.
Make me a monk level check.
Okay. What is this guy?
Oh, hello. I'm up level 2.
Okay, that's not bad. That is a 13.
You're going to have to spend a point of ki.
Oh. Okay, I'll do that.
Do you want to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. As you kind of focus, His key is about as weird as you would expect based on his personality and presentation thus far. It's kind of hard to read. So Ikara like narrows his eyes until they almost become what you might expect from him when he has killing intent, um, or he's about to kick a particular area, for example. That he enters that level of focus, and you have never seen a key like this before, but strangely, what it feels the most like is when you were in the presence of Ikma Shah, the strange lizard you had met the other day. Well, not the other day. Today in the last session.
Oh.
I mean, my favorite character.
So he turns his head, but then looks back towards Nezra and says, "Oh, he's kind of like Ikmasha in a way."
Ikma Shah, you've met one of my pets.
Oh. I mean, it was kind of a weird thing to say that you were like this, like, kind of lizard. Like, it's not a lot of physical similarity, or.
Oh, the key.
No, but we are deeply connected. He's one of my pets, a very, very treasured one, like all of them are.
So when you say pet, do you mean like familiar, like Catherine?
No. He's one of my creatures.
Is that
Hasn't you
exactly?
created him?
Created. Not so much like that. I'd call it more like I dreamed him up a bit.
Okay.
Created works better for you. I created him.
I don't think any of this is doing better for any of us.
Do you need something?
You seem quite disturbed.
Is there something we can do for you, stranger?
Perhaps, though I rather think it's more likely that there's something that I can do for you.
Dog agrees.
That's Cug. He got a voice up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, Kong has an audio box in his neck.
Well, I was
Oh,
gone,
no.
guys. I gave him a box. Talk about.
Oh no.
I'm going
Oh,
to
no.
be, honest with you.
Oh, honesty is the best policy. I, for one, cannot lie.
Oh, well, I for one do not lie, so I feel like this works out for us. We've been through something traumatic. It seems like you came to us with the whole tree thing. So clearly, there's something that you want to do.
Well, I wanted to have a conversation to see if I might help you. Now, if we're splitting hairs or chunks, as it were, it was you all who decided to hold your very private conversation underneath one of my trees. And then I just simply could not help but overhear.
Oh,
Well,
you own the forest?
then I apologize for trespassing.
No one owns a forest.
Actually, he is exactly right. No one owns the forest. I just simply live here. And this happens to be one of the trees in which I live.
As someone who's not far away from this area, is there some kind of history check I can make to see if I've heard of any being like this before?
Sure.
Also, a religion check, maybe, or something similar for. Do I know of this type of category of being?
I have a good history, y'all, and I just want to point out that I fail almost every single damn history check.
Oh
I will say that this can fall underneath Nether. I will say that this can fall underneath Nezra's religion check, for sure.
21.
Oh, okay. Yes. Nezra. Now, many of them do not consider themselves to be a religion. However, you do know that he has mentioned that he cannot lie, and he has mentioned that he lives in a tree, and that he keeps a rather strange creature as a pet. And as you're sort of thinking this, you feel that glow within your soul warms up a bit. And you know the answer. He's got to be some sort of fae.
Which means I
A
already
member
violated
of
rule
fae.
1. Okay.
Well, are you going to continue speaking in riddles, or are you going to explain yourself?
I think I'm speaking rather plainly, so I do not enjoy your accusation. However, as I've said, I think that there's perhaps some that I could do to be of assistance to you. However, if you do not want my assistance, then just say so, and I'll be on my way. You all just seemed rather sorry and down on your luck, and having nothing possible to do other than overhear your conversation. I felt it tug on my heartstrings, and to myself I was thinking, Orana, you must do something for them. After all, dragons cannot simply be allowed to storm the countryside. That's not good for the common people. Certainly not good for the forest either.
Insight
I
check.
would-
Oh.
Sure, roll it.
Once he started talking about dragons, his eyes narrowed. He was like, wait, who is this dude?
Anyone can roll an insight check who wants to.
Sure.
I'll do it, but I'll do it.
Sure. Yeah.
Nope.
Where is it? Oh no, it's messing up. Come on, don't do this right now.
That's
Nubian
9.
rolled a 24.
Oh, you take it because I rolled a 7 plus 4, so that's 11.
That's a 3.
Nezza?
It's 18, but I'm just using my passive.
18 insight. And what did Nubian get? 20 something?
24.
24. You don't have to like him, but it doesn't seem like he's lying. Although your assessment is correct in that he's being somewhat indirect. He certainly hasn't presented himself to you and said, here's exactly what I want, here's what I want you to do for it, and here's what I'm willing to give you. It's not like it's not as if he's told any lies. You haven't seen any indicators of that you would typically associate with lying. Body language and like.
You will have to forgive me. I am rather tired and not exactly in the mood to entertain. What
I have
do you
been
want?
disrespectful. Perhaps I should come back tomorrow.
Well, fella, I don't know if tomorrow is better or worse, really. You're offering some kind of help. Personally,
Certainly.
we have been quite shocked by what's happened. We are on our way somewhere, and hopefully can get there and get somewhere else in quite a hurry. I don't know if that's something you can facilitate.
Where are you on your way to?
We're headed back to Gilga.
Gilga.
It shouldn't be too far from here.
Small village on the countryside, yes?
Aye.
I do believe I've met someone from Gilga before.
The
Amethyst? Amy? Agatha?
Amara?
Amara, that's it.
That would
Rather
be the
delightful
village.
young lady.
Young lady. I
Yes,
mean,
of course.
I suppose it's relative. She's not exactly young.
What do you mean? When I met her, she was beautiful. Couldn't have been older than, I don't know, 25, perhaps?
Correct me if I'm wrong. She's like in her late 50s, right?
Yeah, no, you're 100% correct.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's excellent. When was the last time that you've been out of your tree, if I might ask?
I don't know. It may have been a bit. Why do you ask?
Rough estimation, I don't know.
Perhaps a year, maybe two.
The thing is that Amara is not that young anymore. She's aged quite a bit, I'd say.
Really? Well, how old is she now?
Achilles.
I would give it an estimate of 53, 55, around there. Perhaps older.
He starts like, no way, really, hasn't been that long.
I guess it
Perhaps?
has.
Strange. The time flies, they say. Anyway, I suppose I could get you there, at least through the forest.
And would you be requiring anything from us for your help? Like,
Oh no, that sounds dreadfully easy. I think maybe it's not what you need.
do any of you have any idea of something you need right now? I mean, I don't suppose you have a way of, I don't know, unenslaving the minds of potentially dozens of sentient creatures.
Suppose maybe I do.
I am sorry, but what exactly are you?
It's like, hold on, wait a minute.
You tell people what they are, Achilles.
Well, no, I can. Like, it's one of the perks of being blind, you know. Not everyone knows I can see through, Catherine, so I think I can get away with asking people what they are.
Well, I consider myself to be an artisan, lover of all things nature, a practitioner of the theatrical art, though I suppose that you or people, the humans, might call me one of the fair folk.
So in world, what kind of canon we got going about the fair folk? Is it
Give me a
enough
history check. That is more historical.
Can I do the history
Can
check
everybody
too? I'm
do
curious.
that?
16.
Yes, you can all roll it.
Ikaro, there's no way he would
Stop
know
showing
about
me
Fae
up on
people.
history, I finally got a good
Don't
roll.
fail
Good.
now.
Come on.
That's just one of the.
Yes.
Sorry, I must be having an off night or something. That's one of the sucky things about being a DM is like you say something and then it's like, can we drop an avalanche of dice, please? Like, I guess, but someone's just gonna get a natural 20 and throw everything off. Anyway, sorry. Achilles, what did you get? Oh, people are posting.
I got the same as what I've been giving for every damn history check.
And there's
no.
the ridiculously high number.
There's no way Kara's gonna know about Faye. I didn't even try to roll. there's no reason for you like
So-
what? You don't teach that among us.
Nuveen, you
I have
got
three.
a 3.
I have
Oh.
3.
Dear God. Okay. Well, Shanna rolled really well.
Thank you for abandoning mom and dad.
So, as far as what Sereninos, they're fairly rare. There are stories of people who have stumbled into them and sort of made their way back. The memories of such people tended to be like a bit warped, such that they didn't fully remember their time amongst what humanity calls the fair folk. They're called fair folk, fairies, any of those sorts of typical terminology. The people who have spent time with them come back much older and having, as I said, recalled very little of what they may have been up to. Some bits and pieces, parties, like making art, sculpting, painting, those types of things. You met one person who claimed that they have spent time amongst the fairies, and they were probably in their mid to late 60s when you met them. And all they were really able to remember was the face of a beautiful fey woman that they couldn't help but continue painting over and over. They showed you dozens of pictures of this woman, the same woman.
Okay.
It's up to you whether you would have decided he was telling the truth or if he was a bit off. But everyone around you said he was a bit off.
Okay. And looking at this person, do they resemble the paintings in any way?
Nope.
Okay. I swear I will keep quiet about this for a little bit, but at least the part when the guy went a little bit woohoo. But she will say, I've read a few books about your people. You're not a common sight, I will say.
No, I suppose not. I mean, as I said, apparently I haven't been back in over 30 years. It's really dreadful. I like to patron shows much more often than this, you know?
Hmm.
So when you went to a tree, it was 1 year, but when you came out, it was 30 years?
Oh, no, lad. I haven't been living in the tree, per se. The tree is a portal.
Oh, okay.
The issue that I'm running up against, Piranha, is that whatever help you could give us, I'm concerned would not be on a timeline that would behoove us. We have things that are happening in a relatively exceedingly quick scale, and for maybe your different sense of time, this could pose an issue.
Well, if all you truly want is to go to Gilga, I mean, I could accomplish this in a snap of the fingers.
Are you able to free the dragons or not?
Me? Oh, maybe. That's certainly not how I would go about it, but it's possible.
I don't believe you have answered a single question with a yes or no since we have been speaking.
Well, no, yes, I probably can. I mean, these powers are not perfect, but it's likely that I could. I was thinking if I needed to absorb absolve someone from their mind control, well, I would talk to a fey dragon.
Oh shit.
Am I familiar with this?
Go ahead and make me a history check.
Oh no!
And this one specifically, only Ikara and Nuvian are allowed to do.
Yeah.
It's highly unlikely for them to begin with.
All right, we shall see. My rolls has been horrible lately. Okay, that's much better. Jesus freaking Christ. And I got a -1. So that's a 15.
15, okay. Nuvian?
I have a 17.
Okay. Let me just leave a little something up to chance here. Ikara and Nuvian, would you all like high or low?
High.
Do you concur, Ikara?
Sure.
High?
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
Oh no!
I rolled exactly a 50. I
That's how
think
you know
that-
you got Faye involved. That's right there.
Yep.
I think
Yeah.
that means re-roll. So I'm gonna re-roll. That's a 98. Okay. So, strangest thing, Ikara, Nuvian, you actually heard this story from Ikara, on your travels over from Strafaria. Your mom has actually claimed to have met one and talked to you a little bit about them. The thing was, it was said in a tone that made Ikara think that she was joking and messing with him because, like, nothing else about any of his teachings ever involved them. It came up one night around the campfire while she had been drinking some strange liquid that Ikara did not recognize.
Yeah, good stuff.
But your mother's also pretty old, and she claims to have made contact with one once upon a time in consultation of what to do about the Oltis clan. But the fairy dragon had indicated that it could give no help at the time. And
What
so,
are you
I had
talking?
thought that she was joking. It now seems like, in context, if this guy is telling the truth, she may have been serious. What's up, Nuvian?
He was just say, what are you talking about?
Well, one of the fairy dragons?
And if you, assuming you are telling the truth, where would one find one of these fairy dragons?
Well, in the land of the fair folk, of course.
Serena's gonna step in on that one. I don't believe we, considering what Nazra had said earlier, this is a time issue, and from what I remember, time moves very differently where the fair folk are from.
Do I believe him?
With your 24 insight from earlier,
Or I can roll another people.
there are other factors that you can consider, like what Serena is saying. You believe that he strongly feels that the fairy dragons can accomplish this. He could be wrong, but he strongly believes and is not lying about the fact that he thinks that they can do it.
So Ikara kind of
I know
steps
that was
forward.
like a couple steps there.
Oh.
Did we get what I meant? Okay.
So Ikara kind of steps forward. He says, "Well, mommy said that the Fey dragon that they met, which I thought she was joking. I thought it was the drink she was drinking. But she said that they couldn't help with the Ultis clan. So if they couldn't help with the Ultis clan, I don't think they could help here because this is evolving more than one. This is a lot of dragons.
Speak with the dragons.
Well, fellas, from my point of view, you know, we have very few leads, and if this is something you want to pursue, we can do so.
Are you willing to say goodbye to everyone we know for an undisclosed amount of time and be unable to affect what is happening right now in order to plan this answer?
Yes.
You don't know what could happen between now and then, Nivian.
I'm just saying, like, multiple dragon attacks, the possible leads on various family members. There's an issue at your home. There's an issue, maybe, Achilles, at yours. I'm not really certain. Serena, there's a very clear dragon issue at your home. I'm just saying, it's if we were to discuss with Arana how we could go about meeting the Fey Dragon and discussing with them what we can do, you have to be willing to know that everything that happens out here, for however long that takes, is something you will never be able to affect and you'll never get it back.
I can do nothing for the dragons in my current state. Our families did not call us back, so they do not need us back. And outside of Achilles' family, I don't particularly care about the people of this country.
For me, that's quite comforting. Thank you, Nubian. In a certain sense, I am willing to take that chance if the fellas would like it. I would just definitely want to get Ma and me brother and sister out first before we step through portals through trees.
But yeah, we gotta get them to safety because if Crossroads was blown up, who knows how long it takes till Gilga gets blown up.
I'm
Agreed.
just concerned that we will go have a conversation, however long it takes, and we'll come back to a continent we do not recognize.
Or a continent at all.
I already do not recognize this continent.
Yes, but that is because it is not yours. It is one that I've walked the depth and breadth of, and I would prefer to see it mostly intact. But
Would it be possible for us to finish our current journey before making our decision, Anna?
Yeah, it would be impolite for me to suggest otherwise. How about I speed you all up so you can get to Gilga in a jiffy and then discuss amongst yourselves, and then you can return to me at the edge of the forest.
Can ye connect with any tree like? Because we have a lot of peach trees in my orchard.
I'm not sure, to be quite honest with you, although I will say I hope so, because peaches are rather delicious, at least the ones that they have in the land of fair folk.
I mean, peaches are delicious. It's just a fact.
Like Kara will look up at Achilles and say, Achilles, do you have a place for your family to go to?
Well, I'm hoping that they can go hang out with the resistance, and we have the issue of my dad to hopefully sort out once I can show Nezra a picture. So,
But the resistance spot is so far away. How would they make it there?
well, I know that Thomas and them are quite capable as far as things go.
Speaking of, are they like aware of this conversation?
Wait, where's Thomas and the rest of the crew?
Where are they?
Yeah.
That you were with?
Yeah.
Are they like hanging out like by the road? Are they involved? Are they
So
watching
here's
this
the
like?
here's the thing. They were waiting over by Ikmashaw before you all decided to run after the others to the city. Now you do not know where they are. Assumedly, they decided to move on and head towards Gilga, but you can't be sure.
Okay.
Could ask Arana and see if he knows, I suppose, but you're unsure.
Hopefully, they've made it to Gilga, or at least are on their way there. I don't suppose ye are aware of any other folks traveling in these forests. I will give a physical description of Thomas. I don't know what he looks like.
Yes, I do actually remember seeing such a gentleman a little while hence. They were marching through here rather aggressively and actually broke a couple of branches off of some of my more youngling trees. So I did mess with them a bit, but yeah, they're on their way.
What do you
All
mean
right.
mess with them? You didn't hurt them, did you?
Oh, certainly not physically, emotionally, perhaps.
I don't know if that's any better, but
Well, I've just sort of always found that men tend to be better behaved when you sort of like yank them around and hang them upside down a bit.
You hang them
Well.
upside down and yang them up. What?
By their
You're
ankles,
not
yes.
wrong.
Nezra. No, he's not wrong.
Rena's like, she's got a point.
Would it be
Okay,
just
so
okay to
they-
just ask them not to break branches? Would that just work?
You know, that's rather delightful. It hadn't occurred to me, but I certainly will think about it next time. They seemed a bit more droll. You all lot are much, much more interesting, in my opinion.
Oh.
Thank you.
I
Well,
guess
If I understand the plan, we're going to Gilga. We're
Yeah.
discussing things, and then we are planning to return here to discuss with you.
Yes, I believe that is correct.
yeah.
Okay.
Excellent. And he snaps his fingers, and a bunch of the leaves from the tree nearby begin to fall until you're surrounded by this like vortex of swirling purple leaves. And then all of a sudden, you're in a strange world where half of the trees are upside down, and they look like their branches are reaching out, trying to hug each other. And you're following this strange person named Arana for you have genuinely no idea how long, but it feels like it takes a while. And he's just leading you through this strange
my
world
spelling.
where the sun is purple and some of the trees are upside down and hugging each other, and the leaves are whatever color they feel like they want to be. And then, you're through the forest, and Arana is nowhere to be seen.
I
Any of
don't
us got keen mind so we can know how long that took?
Nope.
Nope. Intelligence?
I-
What is
Judging by
that?
the position of the sun, if I were to assume this is the same day, how long would I think that took?
Indistinguishable.
You know, I don't remember eating any mushrooms today, but I.
Chilies.
Well,
We
you
have-
you sometimes go foraging and you end up picking up ones which are not quite good for cooking. But
When I say indistinguishable, I mean that like it hasn't like moved a quarter of the way through the sky where you can estimate it like seems about the same place.
And are we at a point where we can like see Gilga, or like Are we
Pretty
just
close. Yeah, it's kind of off in the distance, but there's like enough buildings connected, and you're at enough of an upper incline that you can sort of see your way down to it.
this is your home, Achilles?
It is.
Well, I look forward to you introducing it to me.
I think you'll like it here.
The first thing Ikara's going to do is once when they teleport out is he's going to look around Gilga to make sure that there is no Bastion armies or guards being stationed anywhere around. Because
Can I roll for perceived dragon in the sky?
she focused.
In
Can I look up in the sky? Are there any actual dragons in the
in Gilga, dragon from Gilga, mind you. Ah, I mean. No, there do not appear to be any dragons attacking Gilga.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
And
Well,
what
that's
about?
good.
Sorry,
What
what
about?
was that roll on the perceived dragon? No, I'm kidding.
And what about the
Natural one.
guards?
No, you see all the dragons.
The guards.
Yeah. Are
Well,
there any
that's
guards?
a great time for. No, there are no guards. I mean, you can actually see two people fighting off in the distance, little specks, but they do not appear to be. They're not like stationed somewhere. There's a couple of people sparring on a small pitch that you can see.
Okay. So there's definitely a sign of relief from that, but he still keeps his hood nice and covered over his horns, and keeps an eye out.
Catherine has clambered up on one of Achilles' shoulders, and Achilles has taken his sight out of her sight because he knows this village backwards and forwards.
Lead the way.
We'll begin making our way into the village.
Okay. It doesn't take too long, maybe an hour or so, for you to make your way down the hill and roll on into the village. Maybe less than that, a little bit. And you make your way to your family's home, first of all.
Yes.
You arrive. Your little sister appears to be there, studying at the table, as is tradition. That would be Alessa.
Yes.
Kyron does not appear to be present, and your father, of course, is not here at the moment either. Your mom is. Mara is present. It looks like she's maybe cooking some sort of dish with peaches on the stove, and there is a can nearby. Not like a can, rather like a jar made out of glass blown jar.
Just making some jam. Nezra hasn't been here before, so what you will notice in the homestead, there's so we have a bit of a peach orchard, and there are when you come into the household as well, you will see that there are round about Achilles's height where he could touch up, there are guide strings that are still throughout the house. So they would be round about the height for like Nubian and Achilles' height. Like Nubian's a bit taller than Achilles, but so that he would sort of know, okay, that's the direction I'm going there, that's the direction I'm going there. He doesn't necessarily need them anymore because he's been without his sight for about 4 or 5 years now, but they were put up to help him get used to his new situation. But the very first thing Achilles will do is he is going to come up behind his sister, and he's literally going to lift her out of the chair and give her a huge hug and a kiss on her head.
Oh, hi Achilles.
Hello, sister.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I brought a new friend.
He looks around.
And he'll turn his head in the direction that he heard the footsteps that he associates with Nezra. This is Nezra. Nezra, this is my sister, Alyssa.
Hi,
Hello, Alyssa.
I'm gonna be a mage.
Are you? What kind?
One of the best. The smart kind?
I find that almost every mage I meet is the smart kind.
She's a lot
Smartest
smarter.
kind.
The smartest kind?
She's a lot smarter than I was at her age. I'll definitely give her that. Now, before I go and give our mother a giant hug, where is that wonderful little brother of mine?
Ugh, training.
Oh, that's excellent. I'm so happy to hear it.
Like every day, him and that lieutenant guy, I swear. And it kind of bothers me because then when I get bored, he's not around for me to bother. I have to walk all the way over to the lieutenant's house, and that's just not worth it. So I've been getting a lot more studying done. I'm kind of bored.
Well, I imagine that once you get good enough in your studies, you'll be able to get your own companion as well. And then you won't be so bored. I remember Catherine and I used to get up to loads of little adventures together.
I can already do that.
Where are they?
Well, Tommy's not as well behaved as Catherine is yet, so Mom says he's not allowed to stay in the house.
Oh, I am very much looking forward to meeting him. Catherine, would you go and find would you go and find my sister's little friend, please? And she'll hop
Catherine
off.
starts trotting off.
And Achilles will make his way to his mother and give her a big hug. Hello, Ma.
Hello. Welcome. Should I prepare a couple more places for dinner tonight?
Potentially, I imagine so. Some of us have been through a little bit on our way here. Come meet the newest addition to our wonderful little family here. This is Nezra.
Hello. Welcome to our home, and of course to the rest of you, welcome back.
It's good to
Pleasure meet
return.
you.
Thank you. Yes.
Did you want
Hi.
to see Kyron? He's off training. Oh, I'm sorry. What were you saying, Ikara?
Oh, I just said hi.
Hi. You, of course, are delightful to see again.
Oh. Oh, thank you. Oh. He kind of like looks down a bit and then like looks around. You know, the hood kind of protects the blush that he would have on his cheeks.
Ma, we will want to see Kyron in a little bit, but first things first. Would you mind joining me upstairs, just with Nezra for a moment? There's something important I need to discuss with you.
Sure. Leslie, come here. I need you to finish the jam for me. And Alessa goes, and trots over to the stove to work on the jam.
The rest of you are obviously welcome to come up as well, unless Ikara, if you wanted to go and try find my brother. I know you got on like a house on fire.
Oh, he's at the lieutenant's place, right? I could go get him. Okay.
I think he'd like that. He'd be quite happy to see you.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice to see him too. Okay, I'll be right back. And then you just like I said, remember when he's by himself, he doesn't walk. He just pretty much runs his full speed. Yep. And he just heads over to that location.
Ninja run.
Yep, pretty much.
We'll make our way upstairs. It's not like there's a lot upstairs because there are bedrooms and stuff downstairs, and we don't have a massive, huge home. We have a few peach trees. It's enough to be considered an orchard, but we're not like, it's not a mansion or whatever. There's maybe 2 or 3, maybe 2 rooms upstairs.
The minimum legally required number of peach trees to be considered an orchard.
Yeah.
If there was one fewer, it would be a grove.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I hate to, Achilles, I hate to interrupt, but I did want to make sure that we have somebody looking out for Thomas.
Serena.
I will watch for him.
Are you sure? I mean, I think he likes me the most, to be honest.
I thought I caught him checking me, but no, that's fine.
Oh,
Maybe.
like that? Oh, I don't know. I mean, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I wouldn't blame him if you were his choice. It's
Just saying, we had a moment with the squirrel, things like that.
Achilles, dear, I'm rather confused. You had something to tell me?
yes. There are some other companions which are heading to Gilga, and Nuvian, we'll keep an eye out for them, but we do have a few things we need to discuss.
So, how many places should we set for dinner exactly?
How many people were traveling with us? 5?
I thought it was
I know
more
there
than
was
that.
Thomas. I thought that there was 3 others, but I could be way wrong.
There was like a
15.
few. Yeah, I thought it was like plus 10.
It's 15.
God, I hope not. They can. They brought rations. It's fine.
Scott,
eat outside.
we have
Oh,
wildly
goodness.
different ideas.
Achilles, I'm gonna be cooking for a long time. Let's hurry this process up. I have to cook for somewhere between 10 and 23 people.
I'll help you out, Ma. Don't worry. Let's go upstairs quick, and take her upstairs into like probably where her and my dad's bedroom is, and sit down next to her. First things first. There's a high probability that we all should leave Gilga, or at least you and Alessa and Kyron. There are many bad things happening in this country now. And unfortunately, it seems as if it is following us as well.
Look, Achilles, that sounds absurd. I mean, who will take care of the peaches? And what will your brother and sister think? It'll disrupt their entire way of life. And who will take care of the house without me here to clean it? I mean, it'll fall into utter disrepair.
Achilles is definitely struggling here. Ma, if things are allowed to continue the way they're going, keeping the house in repair won't be our biggest concern anymore.
What do you mean?
Nezra, can you help me out? I'm having a hard time here.
I think that what Achilles is trying to say is that in the last week, is that about how long it's been? We have been under serious attack or witnessed serious attack from large-scale forces, including dragons, in several different locations.
That sounds all rather dreadful, and he may be an adult, but that makes me rather worried for my son. I'm a bit confused what it has to do with me and my family here.
Well, the problem is that it is spreading across the continent. We've
What do you
seen
mean?
it in Bastion. We've seen it in the Crossroads when we just came through there earlier today.
Dragons. In the crossroads.
Aye.
Or at least destruction that looked like a dragon.
Oh, holy foxes above.
I mean, that was
Yes.
my thought too.
Additionally, does Achilles / Adrian, this is a semi out of character conversation. I don't know how to. Have you described your family to me before? Because you mentioned your dad had the sending stone that was there.
Yes.
It would indicate your dad has a connection to the resistance.
Yes.
But have you described your family like to the point where I think that maybe the mom does or doesn't know about that?
I'm gonna say he would have. Like, Achilles is rather proud of his family. I'm just gonna like DM Fiat that it would have come up at some point around the campfire.
Okay. Does your mom know about the resistance, or was your dad keeping that from her?
That Achilles doesn't
It's
know
unclear
yet.
in game.
Yeah.
Okay. Additionally, there is a political conflict that is happening simultaneous, or perhaps concurrently, with that issue of seeming dragon attacks. Honestly, it's been a very busy week. There's a lot of danger in a lot of different places. But the good news is that Achilles' primary concern was your safety, your family's safety. And that is why there are more people who are coming. They're going to help get you to safety so that we can potentially do what we can to make it safer for all.
Achilles will hold his mother's hand, and there's more to this as well that directly probably impacts our family. You know that Dad was on his way to Erlorn doing a trading run.
Certainly.
I don't know if news has reached here yet, but the city of Erlorn doesn't exist anymore.
You know, I did hear that recently.
Now, I'm not entirely sure if Dad is okay or not.
Oh, he has to be.
I hope so.
And he has to be. I mean, if something had happened, I would know, wouldn't I?
I don't know, Ma. That's why I'm here.
I have faith. I would know.
Now, we have discovered that the people in Bastion are corrupting the minds of, or enslaving the minds of sentient beings, of dragons. And we have discovered that there are forces in the country that are hoping to undo this and to bring about a bit of stability. I feel like I've found a bit of path in trying to help Nuva and Mikara and their people, and our people, with this. And, well, it's possible that Da has had that idea too.
Everyone roll me perception checks.
Okay.
I got a nat 20.
Nice.
So 19, because I have a -1.
Got a 27.
19. 19.
Did anyone get under 15?
I don't think so.
So then you all hear the sound of boot marching and shaking the house. A forced march. And that's where we're going to take a short break.
Ah!
I hate you sometimes, you know, man.
Evil man is evil.
Evil man. Evil.
Defenestration. Defenestration.
We didn't have a short rest before talking to the tree person, right? I don't remember if we did that at the end of the last game.
I think we were there in order to get a short rest. I'm not sure how much of that conversation counts as a short rest.
You did not complete a short rest.
All right. Well, thank you all so much for coming by and watching our stream. We're going to take what 15 minute break, 10.
We'll come back at the top of the hour.
Top of the hour. So we'll come back at the top of the hour. If you're liking what you're seeing here, would like to join us and talk about it, and you can join our Discord. The link is now in chat. You can talk. The players will of course be there. We of course have a non-spoiler as well as a spoiler section, fan art, everything else in between. So if you'd like to join us, we'd love to talk to you guys about our campaign and more so. So we'll be back again at the top of the hour for the second half of It's Our World, episode 14. See you soon. All right, we are back now here for the second half of It's Our World, episode 14. Fell Flames, take it away.
So, you all had heard marching coming. Several people are upstairs in the house. Several people are downstairs in the house. Serena is outside, watching as marching towards you is Thomas and all of his friends who had arranged themselves in a marching order, and Thomas is at the front as Serena watches, going left, right, left, right, left, right. Oh,
Beautiful job, Thomas.
hello, Serena. Yes, I was just trying to get these sorry men under some discipline here.
Mm.
As is my job as the commander of this unit.
Yes. Can she tell how many people?
I was gonna say, like, somebody's gonna ask how many people are here.
6?
Yep, him plus 5.
Okay. She's like, okay. I have to tell Achilles when I get finished. They're inside talking right now, so I guess. How big would you say Achilles' house is?
I mean, if you yelled from downstairs, we'd probably hear it.
Compared to the house that Serena lived in, this is like a model. This is like a downsized, like, model house.
It's a house for ants.
You all should probably stay outside. You've been marching, probably a little bit sweaty. I can smell you from here.
That is the scent of man that you're smelling, I believe. And no problem, we can sleep outside.
I'm sorry you got me with that man comment.
Miss Serena, are you all right?
Yeah.
You're not struck with the laughing flu or something of the sort?
No, not at all. Mm-mm.
Fine, I'll let them know that we're here. Knock, knock.
Oh God, no!
This is Thomas. Just so you all are aware, my men and I are here. We will be out back. Totally not taking any of the peaches. And then that's all you hear.
It's not like you to be so distracted, Serena. Are you all right?
Thomas is a special one. I can feel it.
Yes, I suppose he is. Well, if you don't mind me asking, how do you feel about things?
Well, I really do not want to go into the Feywild while we're under such a time crunch, I'll be honest. Back in Bastion, there was this man who, well, he said that he met one of the Fae and kind of lost his mind a little bit after, would not stop drawing her.
Concerned you may lose your mind.
Possibly, I don't know. Certainly don't have the discipline that you and your brother have, that's for sure.
Perhaps. So what do you suggest we do instead?
Well, we did sort of have a plan, possibly. I guess was to come here to inform Achilles and his family about things, and then I guess we were gonna go back to the crossroads, was it?
I think we were going to try and get the family back to the hideout, not necessarily go through the crossroads. And I believe there was still the idea that we floated around of trying to head towards the elves and find the green dragon.
Yes, that's what it was. I'm not sure if going to the Fey Dragons or this possible green dragon. I don't know which is the best option, I'll be honest.
Which is the one you want to do? I'm afraid you will spend all day going back and forth on what is the best option.
Probably will. I should flip a coin or something.
Perhaps.
Might just be easier. She will dig out a little coin and flip it then. I don't know what we want to do for that.
Which one is high and which one's low?
Heads high, tails low.
Heads is high. You got it. That's heads.
Heads. Okay. All right. We're going to the Feywild then.
That was enough to make up your mind.
Like you said, I will be here all day thinking about this, and this is probably better than me like going into like a weird like trance or something and like taking Cog apart.
Fair enough, as long as that is a decision that you know that you'll be able to live with.
I don't really have much left in this world, Nivian. I only have you all. So this really is probably the best decision.
See, you mentioned earlier that your kind are not treated very well here.
Not particularly, no. And my family sure did not appreciate me, but there is one thing I did want to try and resolve before I did anything, but I don't know if it's going to anymore.
And what was it you wanted to resolve?
My father. Back when we went to the library in... I don't remember the name of that. The Cloud City town.
Nazim
Mahagalitar.
That one. When we were at the library there and we all got our truths, I learned that my father is also what I am, but he hides it.
Do you wish to hide who you are?
After spending time with all of you and honestly seeing Ikara walk around so freely, I don't want to anymore, no.
That is good. My father used to say, if you spend your time hiding who you are, you begin to forget who you are. I don't want you to forget that. You are a good person, so no.
Well, thank you, Nivian. I suppose we should try and make sure that Thomas and his men don't eat all of Achilles' peaches.
Yes. I get the feeling they would be very upset if their peaches were harmed.
Yes, they'll go do that.
Okay.
Back upstairs, we had just stopped where Achilles had implied that his dad is part of the resistance.
Yes.
Can I make an in-moment insight check on the mom to see if that is new information to her, or just like, can I see it plainly written on her face? Like, if, like, how is she responding to that information?
Yeah. Give me an insight check.
Oh, great. Just a 15.
Well, she certainly doesn't look like shocked, like someone who has just been presented with earth-shattering information. But it's hard to say exactly.
I know that this is a lot to take in kind of one go. It's been a lot to live through, to be honest. Um,
Of course.
the I am of the belief that the best course of action for you and your family right now is to get to safety. And the only place I know of that is relatively safe is with this group of people. Um, do they have an official name besides the Resistance? That are in resistance to these other atrocities we've witnessed.
Well, ugh, that's the only option. I guess it'll have to do, but sounds like a rather dreadful lot of work for me. I mean, maintaining a home away from home? Uh, Certainly no
Well,
life for children to be raised up in.
well, there is one other thing that Nezra can help us do. Like, do you have that the portrait you keep of Da around?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Uh, I assume it'll be somewhere, maybe in the bedroom. I'm not sure.
He goes over to a little bedside table that has a drawer on it and pulls it out of there.
Now, Nezra might be able to try and get a message to that to see if we can get a message to him.
Oh wow, you can do a thing like that? That's mighty useful.
Uh, it is new to me and very uh, costly in terms of kind of my mental exhaustion. To be honest, I should probably rest before I try this again. Um,
Oh dear. Well, if it's gonna put you out so much, maybe it's better if we just don't. You see a look of genuine concern for Nezra in her eyes.
no, it is it is no it is something I'm happy to do. I just won't be able to do it today. But in the morning, it could be the first thing that I do.
Well, feel free to make yourself at home, rest here. I'll make you some tea. Do you like tea?
I love tea.
Excellent.
Ma,
Is it okay if there's a bit of a peach flavor to it?
You know, I I had not had as many peaches until I met Achilles, but I've found myself quite fond of them.
Oh, they're rather delightful, certainly. Yes, Achilles?
Ma, I know you're want to make yourself busy when you're trying to keep yourself distracted from things. But I am here. Regardless of what happens, we will take care of our family.
Well, I can appreciate that, but you're my son, that's my job.
Right.
I think this is a really good time for Nezra to kind of like fade into the background and take her way down the stairs and like not be there for a bit.
Achilles will what's to say to his mother? We've at least you and myself and Kyron and Lessa through you have this connection to these other places through the foxes. And I've always felt that something might lead me elsewhere to do something else. And to be honest, I always feared it as well. Because what we have here is home. What we have here is good. But I am afraid now, if we don't stand up for, well, the people that are being harmed in this country, that definition of home is not going to mean much in a couple of years.
She reaches over and kind of pats you on the knee. And she thinks for a moment and she says, well, for me, home's never been too hard. It's wherever my boys and my girl are. Maybe you'll find a different place. I'm not sure. But if you need to go look, that's okay. I love your friends. Seems like they've done you good.
I think so. Now, let's go downstairs and I'll see if I can round up a few things to help get dinner ready. I should probably go see Thomas and the lads.
She lets you kind of walk in front of her as you all head back down the stairs, and she's just kind of whispering, you know, your eyes look very tired. Do you know there's a root that you can find for that? It's rather common, actually. And she starts to describe it to you, and she's like, and then you'll just take it and you'll split it open at the stem, and you'll see there's a bit of liquid that's trapped inside the plant that comes out, and you can put that around your eyes, and they won't look so tired.
She's saying this to Achilles or someone else?
To Achilles, yeah.
Okay, all right.
It's like the mom saying, like, you look older. There's something you can do for that. Like, you just put some of this root around your eyes, and they won't look tired.
I'll keep it. I'll look for it when we are out and about. Right.
Now about that tea, and you see she goes and starts searching through some cabinets.
Achilles starts to head outside.
I'm gonna try and snag Achilles as he's heading outside. I'll walk out with him.
Yeah.
Okay. You're
I'm
kind of
sorry.
meeting with the other group of people who are starting to assemble themselves.
I'm quite sorry I couldn't cast it tonight.
That's okay. Like I know healing up the car must have taken out a fair bit for me.
And I've done sending twice today because we have not rested since I learned I could do this. So, but best case scenario, do you want to get your dad in the same place they are? Like, what kind of message are you wanting to send to him? Because of course, I'll ask your mother, but I have a limited amount of information that I can convey. It's just something you can think about. Let me know as we're getting closer to it, like what's really important for him to know, or
Okay.
for you to ask.
All right. I'll think about it.
Oh, hello, Nivian. Smiling.
Well, so your talk is finished.
Yeah, for now. For now at least. But everyone is welcome here, and I thought I'd probably help prepare something for dinner. Now I wonder where our brothers are at this point in time.
Hopefully they haven't burned down the forest.
I haven't
Oh.
heard the smoke, so.
I mean, lads their age, it's not it's not inconceivable that something silly like that might happen.
Hey, Ikara.
Yes.
You are able to run over to the lieutenant's place pretty quickly, given your land speed. The scene that you come upon is the lieutenant, whom you have seen before and recognize, sparring with Kyron in very much the style that you might expect from a old knight teaching a young lad how to train. They have training swords, and you watch as the lieutenant steps to the side, hits him on the knee with the flat of the blade, and watches as he buckles over, waits for him to get back up, and just ducks to the side, and instead of hitting him with the sword this time, gently nudges him on the back of the head until he loses balance and falls over. And that's kind of what you watch as you're darting up. Those are the events that you see before you get there, and could like call to them or say something or hop into the ring if you wanted to.
Kara definitely gets flashbacks of those scenarios. Not to that degree, but definitely he definitely recalls the beginning stages of his training back in the monk monastery and the constant ordeals he would go through. So there's a little bit of a smile on his face when he sees that event take place, because it kind of gives like a warm feeling of back home, back in the monastery. And then after that short breeze of homesickness that happens, he kind of like shakes his head and steps forward. And he says, oh, wait, what was his name? Give me 1 second. I have it here. It is Kyron. He goes a step forward and says, oh, Kyron, hi.
Oh, hey, he like looks to the lieutenant, who gives him a nod, and he kind of walks over to you a little bit, and he's like, I just got to get toughened up, if you saw that, I'm not like a wimp or anything. I just, the lieutenant's super tough. So.
Oh, there's nothing to be ashamed of. He has years and years of experience and training under his belt. I've gone through the exact same thing when I was training, and my dad and my mom would probably do the exact same thing to me if we were still in the spar.
Yeah. I got him one time. You just didn't see it too, but he's pretty tough, so it's okay.
He out of character,
hey,
I trust
back.
him. In character, he's going to trust him. Yeah, it's good to see you. So Achilles is here, and we have a lot to talk about. Can you come join us? Oh, wait. He looks over towards the lieutenant. I think the lieutenant should come too. Lieutenant, can you come join us?
He kind of gives you a strange look, and he's like, rather brave of you to ask. Certainly, I'll join you.
Thank you.
And starts making his way over. And then as he reaches over to the two of you, he's like, all right, go ahead, Kyron, lead the way back. It's the least you can do. Probably learn a thing or two from this Ikara kid. And you'll start making your way back over there.
He walks across. Yeah, and they of course make their way back inside. I'm presuming that's where we'll see like Thomas and such, everybody outside. And we sees the group. He says, "Hi, I hope you don't mind. I thought it'd be a good idea to bring the lieutenant as well, since he use more help."
Hello, my name is Nezra, Lieutenant
Just the lieutenant.
Lieutenant, it's a pleasure.
Achilles will give him the, the whole death thing.
Sure. Yeah. Which he does return. And he says, so it sounded like you all had something that you wanted to speak over with me. And you can see he's still carrying one of those training swords in his hand. And Kyron still has the other one just because they had literally came right over here. But in addition to that, he does still have a different sword strapped to his hip that you've kind of always seen on him, but he never uses in training. You've actually never seen him draw it before, just to describe him a little bit more. And he wears a leather jerkin, kind of like the armor that Achilles was wearing before he got an upgrade. Just very lightly armored. And yeah, he does walk over to you and he asks what he can do for you.
So, there's a lot that happened. I'll just be honest and just say exactly what's happening. Bastion is corrupting dragons like myself. They try to turn them against the cities. They had a dragon attack in Bastion, and then there was another dragon attack in the crossroads. It's a good possibility that it's going to happen here. So I remember you. I remember you were nice. So we were trying to see if we could get you all to safety.
There's a tax, huh? That's certainly wasn't warned about that. That must be new. Well, where do you believe that you'll find safety from these attacks?
Well,
There's a spot.
what he said. A safe spot.
Very well. And I assume that's where you'll be going. Are you requesting that I accompany you?
Yeah,
Very sort of like formal in his like posture and the questions he's asking.
Because then you could keep Achilles' family safe, and then also not get blown to smithereens when a dragon attacks.
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Does he seem surprised by the dragons?
Roll me an insight check.
Alrighty. With advantage. Let's go. Beep. Oh, thank God that was an advantage. That was a 7 on the dice.
Oh, there were the 12.
Ooh, and a natural 20. I would take that natural 20 to a 25.
Interesting. What'd you get, Nuvian?
12.
A bit hard to read, probably due to military training. Similarly to what Nezra had kind of got out of her check earlier. It's certainly not like a look of shock and horror like you might come to expect from telling someone like, hey, by the way, dragons are attacking everywhere. But that could just be military training or, being a stoic person. You're not entirely sure why, but you do gather that his reaction doesn't necessarily match what you expect, at least from a typical person. And then he kind of looks over to Kara and he's like, well, you seem like a very well-spoken young man, I'll say that much. If you think that that's what's for the best, then I will gather my things and I will accompany you, your friends, Achilles' family, and those other boys outside to wherever it is that we're going.
Yeah, about that. I think Thomas is in excellent shape, but I mean, I know how you how experienced you are. And I have a feeling they could certainly use your expertise.
Along with Ikara's already successful persuasion check, overwhelmingly successful, you might say, with a natural 20. He says, "Yeah, I think I've observed them long enough." He maybe saw them for like 10 seconds. Observed them long enough to say that I'll be taking command of this operation.
Thomas won't be happy about that, but it's for the best.
How long ago did you retire?
You're asking him, or Achilles, or
No, Lieutenant.
oh, geez, must have been decade and a half, 2 decades ago, maybe.
Do you still wear like the insignia or any?
Nope, no insignias at all. Just a plain leather jerkin.
I see. So, what is your opinion on the dragons?
My opinion on the I'm sorry. I'm not fully understanding your question. Could you rephrase my opinion on what about them?
Well, you were just told that the dragons were being held captive. I imagine you were aware of the position that dragon and their dragon riders had in the city, but you didn't seem to react one way or the other. I'm curious.
Well, Sonny, he says, not realizing Nivian's age.
Because he's probably older.
Yeah. He says, "Well, Sonny, here's what I'll have to say about that. You're not going to like everything that you encounter, and sometimes in your life you're going to be confronted with things that you may have been suspicious of, but could never prove. And you're not going to like it, but you're not going to be surprised either."
Oh, you knew this was coming?
I had my suspicions. I have for a long time. Just never had any proof on what I could do about it. They're a little bit too friendly whenever I've seen them in public appearances.
Would
The
you want-
dragons and their riders.
Would you want to stop it?
Well, that problem feels a little bit bigger than me, but I certainly think it would be for the best, morally speaking, if it were to be stopped. I'm not sure I'm the guy for the job, but I think that's what's right.
He'll look towards Nezra and try to like point his finger towards her to try to get her to come down to his level. And if she bends down, he's going to whisper into her ear, "Should we tell him about the resistance?"
I think we already introduced him to Thomas.
Oh,
Would you rather it be a surprise?
that's right. Okay, so they're part of the resistance to kind of help fight back against this.
I understand.
So maybe they might want your help.
I'm sure that they will. If I'm right, they're going to need it.
Just another day in the car.
As ex-military, I know that quite well.
Well, those of you with cooking ability could probably stand to help. Is her name Amara? Amara?
Mara. Mara. Yeah.
Okay. Could probably stand to help Mara in the kitchen. I will burn the place down if I try, but
Achilles is going to out of nowhere, sneak tackle his brother.
Roll
Surprise
stealth.
round. Roll initiative.
Roll
I-
stealth.
Why don't I have guidance?
I will. I'm.
Again.
And that one?
First time it failed. This time, no, 2.
That too. He never gets it. Never gets
His
it.
training is paying off.
You're just too excited. You're like a puppy, and you're like, I'm gonna.
Ah!
As you
Achilles.
go to tackle him, he notices you coming, tries to spin to the side, and you topple to the ground. And he accidentally trips over the training sword that he forgot he had in his hand, falls
Oh.
down to the ground next to you.
Oh.
Achilles is pissing himself off.
Like brother, I see.
I don't think that
Oh.
worked out quite well for either of us. Come on, lad. Let's go. Let's go. Pluck some chickens for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I tell that?
That's all he says as he picks himself back up and
Yeah.
starts trotting away in a huff.
Can I tell that he was kind of embarrassed by that? Like he probably was trying to do his like training techniques and stuff. Yeah, that's that.
Yeah,
could've
you can
recognized.
tell.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Achilles fell on his ass too. So this is hilarious.
He at least
will
has
keep
the
an eye.
excuse of being blind. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you used to say, I will keep an eye on the forest. I'm not exactly in need of food, though I do thank you for the offer.
I'm feeling a little bit restless myself. We still have a little bit of daylight left. I think we're gonna just take a walk, kind of a loop around the town. How big is Gilga? Could I conceivably hit the primary?
Literally a
main
one-horse town.
before I but can I walk the breadth of it before sunset?
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm gonna be doing.
Okay.
Yeah, Achilles is just helping Karen out. They've killed some chickens out back and are doing the whole thing, bringing them in.
Anyone else want to do anything before we sort of summarize the night?
Don't think so.
Yeah, I'll probably just keep just another quick eye out just to make sure nothing crazy looks coming from the horizon. And as long as I verify things look safe for now, he'll make his way aside.
So Rena would actually try and help cook.
Okay. Roll me a dragon
Ooh.
perception check, Ikara.
All right.
You're gonna tell me to do that? I'm like, what?
I thought he was gonna tell you roll
Oh,
for
no.
cooking.
I was like, there's a check for that? All right, that's not bad. Oh, that's actually pretty
There is actually chef
Mhm.
is one of those backgrounds you can take.
It is.
good. 23.
So I have good news and I have bad news.
Uh-oh.
Which one do you want first?
The bad news.
The bad news is there are no dragons on the horizon.
And the
That's
good.
also the good news.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I was thinking it
Ah.
sounds like a hybrid. All right, so
Because it means there's no attacks,
Mhm.
but it also means that Ikara has no friends on their way.
Oh, that's true. The bronze dragon. Okay.
Mm.
All right. So once he confirms that, he'll make his way aside.
Okay.
I think Nezeret, because she recently had like this kind of spiritual experience, is looking for Twilight in specific. So like if she finds somewhere that is like a reasonable place, not too far away, she could get there if she needed to. She's gonna spend quite a bit of time like trying to deeply think about the pros and cons of maybe going to the Feywild in like kind of, you know, we had that emotional moment last gosh, that was today. Earlier this morning, we were like, your family, this kind of thing. So she's doing a lot of like emotional synthesis as well as trying to figure out what she thinks is the next best move.
Fair to say you maybe go to that hill slightly outside of town, up the hill a bit.
Yeah.
That sounds good to me. Make me a religion check.
— 17 plus 2 is 19.
That ever-present feeling in your soul, the strange array of colors that you don't really have an explanation for. It gives off a feeling of comfort. And even though you still understand all of the events, you still feel a certain type of way about them. You feel that comforting presence too, almost like a spiritual hug, saying that everything is going to be okay. Things are going to work out the way they're supposed to.
I think she takes a lot of comfort from that. And when she does come down finally for dinner, like her shoulders are going to be a lot more relaxed. She's going to be just a lot more at peace as she moves back.
Lorena goes to help with dinner. Ikara, I would gather, is probably just hanging out with Kyron.
Kira stepped out quickly, so
Yeah, I noticed. Nuvian, the ever watchful presence, keeping an eye over everyone. Chickens are cooked. There are peaches. The jam is used on some bread that was baked earlier in the day, at the beginning of the day. You all enjoy a meal in some company with sort of a almost like picnic style basket being brought back to Thomas and his men because there just simply is not enough room in the house, literally, for everyone to be in there. And eventually, you all take your places for sleep, bed down for the evening, and are taken by a comfortable rest. The night passes without incident. You all begin to awake at your typical times in the morning. Rested, the long kind from the day previously.
nice. Good old-fashioned long rest.
Yeah.
I think, Achilles will definitely be downstairs already. He's preparing breakfast this morning because he's hoping his mother had a bit of a rest, and she probably didn't. But he tried to be a little bit earlier to get in the kitchen before she could, so he could do some stuff.
You do beat her by a little bit to getting some of the cleanup and cleaning done until about 20 or 30 minutes later when she finally comes down. Still very early in the morning, and sort of like without trying to, incidentally pushes you out by like trying to intervene in any task that you're trying to help with. As you would recognize, she often does. Not for a lack of gratitude, but for being a mother.
Yeah. As she's trying to pick up the scrubbing brush or whatever it might be, Achilles is going to use his one-time free ability to actually use his psionic abilities to take it away from her.
Where did it go?
Well, I don't know. It must have fallen down, man.
And she starts like looking around the ground, like, Achilles, where you had my scrubbing brush a bit ago. What did you do with it?
And he's back at the sink scrubbing dishes. I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Let me show you how to do it, as this conversation you've had several dozen times. It's more of like a circular motion. Here,
Yeah.
I'll
I
show
know.
you. No problem.
Now, while we do wait for Nezra and the rest to come down, I'm afraid she is not an early morning riser. I was thinking, if we wanted to talk to Da, well, this morning, it's at least my intention to get Nezra's help with this. Is there anything in particular you would like me to say to him?
Not really, to be honest with you. I mean, the poor girl seemed like she wanted to help me out, so I do feel like I should be honest with you, though. I mean, I didn't know, but I've had my suspicions that he might be involved in something. I mean, a wife knows these sorts of things.
Well,
Mostly,
had no
I just
idea.
want to know that he's alive.
That's a lot of my worry as well. Well,
You know, he's a good person. And merchants, they travel around a lot, and you know, they can be very useful for, you know, different organizations like that. And he always sort of had a good heart, so I just
I
wouldn't
think
be
so.
surprised, you know?
yeah, I understand what you mean. Well, while you do my job for me, I'll at least make some coffee.
That sounds nice.
And Achilles will make some coffee, and when it's done, he'll call up rather loudly, because he does the rest are probably still asleep. We've got coffee!
The only words I want to hear in the morning. And Nezra stumbles down, and like her clothes look fine, and like it's clear that like she's done her morning ablutions and looks like put together, but her face is one of absolute like just kind of like making grabby hands for coffee. Cheers.
Nugan will come in from outside.
The same.
Yeah, I imagine Nuven's been training for like 2 hours already.
Yeah. Pretty much same. You pretty much just came from the outside area. Like, oh. Well, why do we
Morning,
need
lads.
coffee?
Good morning.
Because
That
this is
question
the only
hurt me.
good and new thing in this world.
But what does it taste like?
Do you want to try it?
Sure.
No.
It's like magic in a glass, lad.
Oh no.
So does Nezra actually give him the coffee?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, it's on. Okay. He takes, well, like a little bit of a sip, and you see his eyes goes from like a standard look to just like buckshot this wide. Like, wait, what is this? What is this? Oh boy. Well, it tastes bad, but it wow. Why does my hand shake? You guys
That
like
is
this?
psychosomatic is what that is.
You guys like this? Oh no! And someone with ADHD, this is completely what. This is pretty much exactly what happens with coffee hits. Boop, 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 boop. He's like, "Why is my hand shake? Why do you like this? Well, I guess I can't stop talking. Why can't I stop talking? Oh boy. I probably should not drink this anymore, but it feels good. I'm gonna go train. I'll be right back." And you just see him pew, and just dart right back out, trying to unleash all of that energy that he has.
And the whole time Akara is training, I imagine that he's just like left, right, left,
yeah,
under,
right, yep,
and boom, and
yep. while making noise like beep beep boop boop. Okay.
think Nezra gets most of the way through the rest of the coffee before she realizes what just happened. Because like she wasn't really awake enough for it, and then she's like, "Oh, noted."
Coffee's
Mr.
great.
Okara is asking you all the questions for our journey.
Noted.
I mean, whenever I had my first sip of coffee, all I remember is thinking, "This tastes terrible. Why does anyone drink it?" Now, of course, I love it, but like as a child, it was a mystical, like, forbidden alchemical potion of wonder that ended up tasting terrible.
I feel like that's probably everybody's first experience with coffee.
Okay, put my coffee bag in.
Did anyone wake Serena up this morning?
It is definitely not my turn. I just like the number of times I have had to. Do you know I actually put guidance on myself every time I have to wake her up.
And this is when you hear ding, 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 echoing through the whole house.
That'll be
She never
cock.
hears it. She never hears it. It will go on, and then sometimes she wakes up just enough to like whack Cog on the side, and it stops for just long enough for me to almost fall asleep again. And then it happens again.
Well, you should consider waking earlier in the morning, I suppose. I don't.
Okay, Nuvian, you're officially the Serena Waker.
Serena Whisperer.
Oh,
The alarm clock.
Is Serena awake yet?
No.
well, you know, if Nuvian is waking Serena up, she get up at like 6 a.m. every day.
Honestly,
It just-
preferable to the current. I would change my own sleep habits to fix the current situation. So she snores, it's very loud, and then this whole racket in the morning, and it is literally life-threatening to try to wake her up.
I will bring her when I go do morning training with Okara.
Serena, you awaken to someone or something gnawing on your leg.
Cog, stop it. Stop.
Hmm?
No bite. No bite. She'll get up and say, fine. And she'll do her little routine and get ready to go downstairs.
Yeah.
So, Nezra, how are you feeling after your coffee?
Much better. Thank you. It was a damn good cup of joe. Well done.
You know, I think it grows in mountains somewhere. I'm not entirely sure, but you know, it's good. If you are ready, I was thinking what might be useful to say to my dad. Obviously, whether or not we get a response will indicate a lot. But if we can tell him, you know,
Well, first of all,
From
what is your
Achilles.
father's name?
his name's Kieran, Keiran. So I imagine it would be something like from Achilles. We know your. Oh no, that's going to sound a bit scary to him. Things have happened.
I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to waste 3 words on a tautologically true statement. Things will have happened regardless of what has happened to us. This is just true no matter what.
That's true. Uh, Ma
Give me the
and
emotional gist of what you want.
so the family is safe.
Mhm.
We're leaving Gilga,
Mhm.
and what kind of landmark would I be able to give him about where he could meet us for that for the hidden base thing?
To the lieutenant.
To my dad, yeah, to where all
Oh,
the
to your dad.
yeah.
Uh, that's kind of tough. Make me an intelligence check.
Okay.
We're playing the
Fine.
"What Does Achilles Remember" game.
Okay. Don't fail me now, dice. That's better. That's a 14. Yeah, 14.
A landmark is going to be tough, but you have a recollection of the rough number of miles outside of town and cardinal direction to go in from town that accomplishes a rough direction in about 4 words.
Okay, so so 16 miles northwest of the crossroads. 20 miles northwest, northeast. It was north,
Well, are you
right?
giving directions from Gilga or from the crossroads?
From the crossroads, because it was closer to the crossroads, right?
Uh, for the resistance headquarters or for the runes?
The resistance headquarters.
Oh yeah, you can do that too. Sure. It
Yeah.
was roughly from what you were told, it was roughly like 10 to 15 miles northwest of the crossroads.
All right.
Sorry.
So
Your family is heading towards the ruins? Is that where they're going?
the underground where we left Daniel and Malaya, I
They are
imagine.
returning to that spot. I don't know if this is Aaron or Nezra's confusion, so I'm choosing it's both. I thought that there was like a secondary safe house location that they were being taken towards.
Oh, the fort, like. Gosh, I didn't even think about that. They were supposed to check that out, but I don't know how safe that's going to be. I reckon that's Thomas and their job is to check out that fort in the first place. So maybe that's a good idea, actually. The fact we can head to the fort with the family, with Thomas and them, and they can stay there and then make their way back. That's
How
a
far
much
is the
better
fort
idea.
away?
It's not too far from here, actually. Less
It's
than half a
within
day.
it's within a half a day of the Gilga itself. Yeah,
Yeah. So,
further
The
away
old-
from the crossroads.
okay. So, Dad, this is Achilles. Ma and Kyron and Alessa are with the resistance in the old Murhathar fort.
Well, I would hate to tell them that they are there if you get there and it is not a suitable place. But I honestly think, Achilles, that if he is with the resistance, he will have the ability to know where some of these locations are.
I
And he will
mean,
be able to respond to me with any questions. So if he needs something more specific,
true. Oh well, in that case, it might be fair to say this is Achilles. The family and I are with the resistance. Where can we meet you? Or where can you meet us? Old Murhafar, my God, Fort
I've never
or
heard about
elsewhere?
Merhafar.
Yeah, it was M-U-R. Well, at least that's how I wrote it anyway. Murhafar. Or you could just say the old Goblin Fort.
What is the most important thing for him to know?
That we're with the Resistance. And that we are leaving Gilga. And we're safe and we love him.
Okay. I almost have an idea. Okay, I've got a 25-word message, right, prepared. Like I said, do my thing. Focus on the chest orb light thing. The picture of your father with his name. Do you have a full name for him? I just feel like the more information I have from him, the better.
Kieran McGowan. McGowan is our last name.
So I'll focus on him, my connection with Achilles, and I will attempt to send this message. I'll say, hello, this is Nezra on behalf of Achilles. Your family is safe, but leaving Gilga with the Resistance. I forgot what I was going to say next. We will check out the Merhafar fort.
You send the message, concentrating on the light in your soul, and there is no response. And
Sorry,
just
Achilles.
when you think there really won't be one, a minute later, you hear a voice in your head. The Merhafar Fort. Interesting. I'm a bit busy, but I'll see the family soon.
So like she was literally mid I am so sorry, like preparing to counsel grieving and just like wait.
Yep.
That's what I mean, obviously I don't know his voice, but he sounded all right. He said interesting that he was busy, but he would see the family soon. That's all, I'm afraid.
Achilles will sort of like squeeze his mother on the shoulder, and then he will crack into his usual self. Now, be honest. He sounded like a bit of a silver fox, didn't he? Don't lie.
Well, yes. I feel like there's an answer you want. And so
well, I mean, you know, I've got to
you.
get my looks from somewhere, so
Are you implying that you sound like a silver fox?
Not at all. Not at all. Basically, this is my way of saying thank you, and I'm very relieved.
I'm also quite relieved to be able to give you good news. But I did mention that fort specifically, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to actually meet you there, but it seemed like he was on his way to meet somewhere.
Well,
or at some stage.
We know he's alive. Now,
to the best of my knowledge. I don't say that part out loud.
I believe we all have a little bit of a vote on our hands.
I would prefer a discussion first. I
Would
think
like
that
to begin?
well, if you don't mind, I'll kind of summarize what I understand our options to be. And then if I've missed something, you can let me know. Option the first, we travel with Achilles' family to this fort and then continue to accompany them to wherever is the safest place. Afterwards, we would regroup and find the best way to help the resistance in that location. Option the second, we go to the fort, and from there, we return back to that forest to Erano
Mm.
and see what knowledge lies that down that path. A third would be to head towards the elves and this green dragon I heard you speak of. A fourth would be to not be with the resistance at all, to find a place of safety of our own. A fifth would be to ignore your mother's counsel and head back to your home continent. Am I missing any options?
Believe so.
For me personally, the ties that I have here on this plane of existence, if as it were, are the people that I'm currently talking to. So I don't have to worry about what time may or may not pass. But for those of you with families, even in dragon years can change things. Months can change things. Any sort of time dilation where we are gone for too long, I don't want anyone to come back and regret that they weren't here for whatever end that might be.
To clarify, would I have had burned off my caffeine rush to hear this conversation, or am I still out there training?
We have found you. for
Okay.
this conversation.
Okay.
It's
Sure.
taken some time for me to do the sending and
Yeah.
everything too. So
All right,
Yeah.
cool. I just wanted to make sure. All right, so you see him kind of like his legs are squeaking back and forth against the chair because he still can't keep his energy in check, but he's definitely listening intently to your conversation.
Your concerns are reasonable, but I am concerned, and I do not believe we should go in search of this green dragon, because if they have not found them, then by us going in search of them, we may show them where they are unintentionally. And as of current, we are not strong enough to make a difference in this world as much as I would like to. Our mother, and presumably our father, instructed us not to return, meaning they believe that they have the situation in our home under control. As far as I am understanding it at the moment, we are the only ones offered the opportunity to speak with the fairy dragons, who up until this moment I did not believe it truly existed. I believe that we all have our roles to play, and at the moment, ours is in gathering as much information as we can. So I believe we should go and consult with the fairy dragons.
will you be satisfied if you gain the knowledge you seek, but you return too late to use it?
Yes. I do not believe these people will be the only ones attempting to use magic to bind dragons. So if sacrificing the present ensures that no one else is imprisoned, then that is what fate has decided for us.
It is a compelling argument to me. But again, I am the person with the least amount to lose if we are gone for long periods of time.
For myself, knowing that my father is alive is an immense relief. And I think I'm going to have a little bit of faith. We were led very quickly to the crossroads by essentially what I would call my ancestors. Very shortly after that, we were witnessing the attack of the dragon on the crossroads. And shortly after that, we met this Fey man. There's something intrinsically playful in the way that the Kitsune get messages across to people. But they are messages that I'm learning to follow. I don't think that path has been presented to us by chance. Through journeying with you all, I believe I've grown emotionally a lot stronger. And I think my family will be all right. My brother has a good head on his shoulders. My sister is exceptionally confident in her abilities, and I do believe she's probably going to be one of the greatest mages to ever walk this continent. So I'll trust in them. If it turns out we are gone for too long, I vote we go to the Feywild.
All right, I do want to point out one other issue, and is that I mean I don't know much of the Fey. I rolled a decent check earlier with the history, so I'm gonna assume I know a little bit though. But it is my understanding that you do not get things for free. There's a cost, and I don't think it will be necessarily the cost of time. I think that is incidental. That is part of the way that the planes and travel works. But there may be a cost to bear, and it may be our minds if what Serena was saying earlier is true.
Is their price too great?
For some,
me,
there probably will be.
For you, but for a car, Serena is a brilliant mind. It would be a loss not just for her, but for the world.
If we
I'm
do
just saying,
nothing,
I don't think that we can make that decision. I mean, it is a blind decision we are asked to be made. To make. It is one that we simply we can't know the repercussions. I'm just asking. Is it worth the combined risks?
What do you think, Catherine?
Hmm?
I mean, there's your answer right there.
I
Obviously.
mean, that's pretty much what she told me when he was riding along when we were in that house. Like, that's.
You have a very strange moment, Achilles. As Catherine looks you directly in the eyes. For the first time, you hear a voice. Well, when I need to choose between two treats, I pick the one that I want the most, because then I know that I did the best that I could.
He says out loud, "That's really good advice, actually." Wait, hold on. I'm
I
sorry.
mean, I do think that considering the risks in total is good advice. Thank you, Achilles.
That too, but we'll come back to that. Um, you know, I think we choose what we feel most strongly drawn towards, and I think that's going to be the best situation. That we make the best of it. Otherwise, we'll be stuck with decision paralysis, and that's never a good thing, is it?
So here's the thing. I know my decision already. I just don't know if it should be everyone's decision. Yesterday morning, I had a near dead car in my arms.
How are you feeling
It
about
is
that?
worth the risk for me. It is worth the risk for me, and I believe I also have faith that things will work out as they should. But honestly, what holds me back the most is the risk not to myself, but to the rest of you. Achilles, you have your family to protect and to take care of. Zakara and Nubian. I mean, Nubian, you have Akara to protect, and you have your family back home. Serena, you have your mind and your intelligence to protect. It's
Catherine jumps off of Achilles and goes and curls up around Ikara's foot.
Oh, Ikara. So Ikara, it was really literally kicking back and forth in full swing. The caffeine rush still is the fact that he's using all of his wisdom and meditation to just focus all of the caffeine to his legs. And then once the Catherine comes in, he just stops. And then you just see him kind of like taps his hands against his knees as like a fidgeting ordeal. And he looks down. He's like, "Oh, hi, hi."
He climbs up your leg to where you're tapping your hand and
Oh.
kind of sits on it. And you gather that she's trying to comfort you because you're acting all excited.
Oh, thank you. He's trying to stay really still. And I guess it's a really weird sensation. As someone who had that caffeine rush and like kept having to move all over the place. You're trying to like stay perfectly still, but there's like that internal fidgeting that you want to do. As you can literally see his eyes darting back and forth, but he just smiles at Catherine. He's like, "Thanks." And I think the only thing that kind of moves now is like his thumbs.
Yeah. Or he's like blinking more often.
Yeah.
So, what do you think, lad? Are you up for adventure one way or adventure the other way?
Oh, me?
Aye.
I I like both. I like the idea of meeting a Fey dragon because perhaps they could help. But I also think we should talk to all the dragons here because otherwise they might get captured. And we're not here to stop it. Cause I don't know much about this elven place. I'm hoping that they have a strong army, but with all the dragons that Bastion already has, they probably have enough to be able to do damage against the elven city. So maybe we can find a way to breed them in. And then the other dragons that's located in the western mountains, like they have no warning. They have no idea that they're about to be captured and attacked and dragged in. So we have to let them know too and breed them on our side. So at least we can have to balance out the forces a little bit. Because right now we're just really, we're sad to say we're really outmatched, and we need dragons on our side to help. So maybe dividing the dragons and bringing them all together is probably what I like to do.
Do I get a sense that Ikara actually understands the risks of going to find a Fey dragon?
Oh, he has no idea about that. I mean, he understands that time is different there, but he doesn't really grasp the whole like the mind conversion thing. Like he never really heard of that before, so he's not familiar with them. So, but I'll be honest, you can kind of tell he's leaning more towards not going meeting the Fey Dragon, but actually staying here, but gathering the dragon forces, the Green Dragon and the dragons to the West Mountains. That's I think you can kind of tell that's kind of like his primary thing. And then if that doesn't work, then maybe go see the Fey Dragon.
So we are 1 and 1.
Nezra's
being?
on Fey Dragon side.
Serena.
2 and 1, 3 and 1. Nuvian?
Nezra is also very pro Nezra not or Ikara not coming, but out of character, I can't really figure out a way to pull that off. But in character, I really don't want him to come.
I don't believe we will be able to undo whatever it is they've done with just time.
So we go to Fey Dragon.
I think so.
Where are you all having this conversation? Inside the house?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
inside the house, right? We're at the breakfast table, I believe.
Yep. His hooded down, his
There's
horns up.
a knock at the back door.
Uh-oh.
Hello?
Now, did I hear that you were interested in accompanying me to the land of the Fair Folk? Speaking of, it turns out I can go through pear trees.
Oh god, pear trees?
I'm regretting this decision.
error.
I know. I realized
I was
that.
gonna say because
Peach trees.
I'm pretty sure Achilles changes his answer like that
Peach
if he messed
trees.
that up.
Peach trees.
Fuck that guy.
What is the price for your help?
Oh, nothing.
What do you give in exchange?
I ask not one thing, not two things, 0 things of you in exchange for my assistance.
It's very hard to believe, even
cannot lie.
here. Even here in the, I guess, human world, I don't really know what you would call this place. Even taking an offer like that is too good to be true.
I'm trying so hard to like rein in my like desperate want to like debate this out. to like go full lawyer and be like, well, as the fun.
No, dude,
you know what I mean?
dude.
Like,
Feel free to.
okay. You are not asking for.
I will not ask anything of you. I require nothing. There need be no services rendered in exchange for my help. No items delivered. No questions answered.
Will there be others in the place we are going who will ask, require, request, or demand from us?
Not to my knowledge, though I imagine that a fairy dragon will not necessarily assist you for free. That would be between you and them.
That's fair, like.
Is there an
Okay.
inherent cost that does not need a request or demand?
I don't believe so.
Hidden fees.
Can you
What?
guarantee safety?
I can.
Will you accompany us while we are there?
Certainly. If that's your request.
Ooh. See
Hmm.
now, I have not asked, request, demanded, or required anything of you yet either. When we arrive, will we be able to leave?
Yes, of course.
Will there be any events that must occur before we are allowed to leave or enabled to leave?
If I'm accompanying you, who would stop you?
Um, uh, I mean this with the utmost respect. Again, never met anyone who was Fae before. I've never traveled to wherever this Fae place is. It is my understanding that the rules work a little bit differently there.
What sort of
So it's not
rules?
necessarily a stopping as it is a natural consequence of existing.
Like what?
God, I don't want to tell the DM any of the terrible things in my head. Like,
Is there anything?
yeah, please, Niven. I have to collect my thoughts.
Is there anything we should be concerned about when we go into the Feywild?
Oh, yes, a great many things, but there are a great many things I would caution you to be wary of should you remain here as well.
Which are?
Well, the dragons, for one. Evidently, there are Fae in your forest. Certainly, that must be of some concern to you, right?
I don't know, fellas. I like this man. I think
You never get any.
There is a dragon turtle in the sea. I would be concerned about that should you ever decide to travel by ship.
I immediately want to travel by ship right this instant.
Same. Oh my god.
Like, thanks for that plot hook. We're abandoning everything we just spent the last hour talking
Like,
about and going dragon
Screw
turtle.
this guy. We're going to Strafaria. We're gonna go on a boat.
Wait, has Ikara heard of a dragon turtle?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
They're not friendly.
Okay. Are they draconic in essence, or are they just mostly turtles that are so huge they're just called dragons?
No, they're draconic in essence, like a cousin of some sort, you might say. But you don't even need to roll for this. Your understanding from your mother is that they can be quite rude and disagreeable a lot of the times, unless there is something that you can do for them.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
I thought of the question I wanted to ask. What do you get out of all of this?
Well, that's rather rude.
No, I
Though
mean,
I'm willing to tell you, I think
Okay.
it's going to be a great deal more entertaining than anything else I might do with my time.
If we're boring, do you rescind any of the previous things that you stated?
No, of course not. I'm taking a wager out.
I'm sorry, you're
With
doing
whom?
what?
Hmm?
Fate with life. I mean,
Ah, yes.
Are you
Whom are you
archer?
wagering?
he's waging on us. It's a bet with himself.
Are you archeristic?
Hmm. I try to be sometimes. I'd say I'm a greater deal selfish than I intend to be lots of times, though. But after all,
Move.
who all has witnessed the journey of a group of adventurers? I mean, that's something you can't buy in the theater.
again he has a fair point. I have one question though. If we, well, I'm going to say when we come back, can you make sure that we actually remember everything that we've experienced? Because, you know, our friend over there with telling us her story.
Hmm. Hmm.
That's true, because there's no point of trying to ask for the Fey Dragon help and then we don't remember that we asked for the Fey Dragon help.
That is a good point. Let me tell you where my confusion lies. You see, I have no intentions to take your memory. But adventure is no fun if I've plotted our entire course before we get there. So the issue is going to be quite difficult for me to guarantee that no one else might try to mess with your memory. And if they did so successfully, that I would be able to undo it. I mean, I would certainly try.
This is a worthy risk for me. This is not a problem for me.
Okay.
Suppose so.
Okay.
So be it.
What about the time difference when we come back? Can we expect for time to have moved differently here?
A fantastic question. Now, this may surprise you to know, and he sort of like whirls and looks directly at Serena. He's like, actually, time moves much slower in the land of fairy than it does here.
Does it now? Still does not explain how you say you left for a year and then.
Yeah, like that would seem to be a lie in that case. You say you were gone for a year and then you were actually gone for 30 years. You would be gone for 300 or something.
It's not a lie, because the character's experience of time is such that they don't really recognize it. So,
So
he's
like,
telling
I've been
you
gone for
the
a year, but he
truth.
doesn't know what a year is.
Right. His
Okay.
experience of time is like, to him, he was like, oh, I just popped back over. But actually, it had been 30 years.
So the
Okay.
Alzheimer's disease. Gotcha.
It's kind of like how elves would experience time versus humans.
Yeah, very similar.
Gotcha.
Well,
He was like, I just saw them the other day. And the human was like, no, my elf friend, you left here years ago.
Yeah. Now, okay, I got you now. That makes perfect
So
sense.
he's not like really telling a lie. It's just he's revealed that he does clearly have a very different perception of time.
Gotcha. So it's slower. So that means. What do you mean? So to elaborate, when you say it's
like
slower.
if we spent a day there, it'd be less than a day here. Spend a month there, it'd be less than a month here. We don't know how much slower, but
you don't know the actual conversion rate, but say like one day in the material world might be 10 days there.
Gotcha. Okay. Oh, cool. Oh, well, in that case, it will work great as long as we can remember what we're doing.
I mean, any last minute objections?
No.
Yes,
Sounds
no.
like our best option.
Does just don't want Mr. Fancy Pants here to abandon us. Is all.
I will not abandon you.
Because where would be the fun in that?
He just
Yeah,
smiles.
I mean, we're all agreed. I hope you're happy, Zach. Very well.
You're going to say well.
I'm excited as Aaron.
Arana says, well, excellent. I'm glad that we're all agreed. And he snaps fingers. And a whirlwind of leaves come from inside. There are no leaves inside of this house. They just appear and start around you. And this time, you feel as though you're being carried off by the twister. And you open your eyes. And you're in the same sort of world that you had seen previously. And then you watch as Arana says, well, this will be fun. And then he says, lead the way. and transforms himself into a fox, a purple fox.
Oh. A kitsune?
And that's where we're going to leave this episode.
Purple fox.
Wow!
I thought we were supposed to take the people to the fort first, or do we
Yeah,
decide
no,
not to?
like we're definitely gonna be sending our apologies here in a little bit. Where it's like,
Yeah, it's like, oh, we didn't mean right now.
Sending goes
Dude.
across plains. It's
To be
it does.
fair,
It
though,
does.
you did also get the lieutenant on board, which sort of bumps up the success rate of such an operation.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking of what's why I saw the lieutenant was there. I was like, oh wait, he's a lieutenant, one of the best warriors in the village. He would, as long as he's not like an undercover bastion, spy, he would be a great, ally to join us in. So I was like, oh, and Carl was like, hey, come with us.
And my mom was probably downstairs when we were having this conversation. So just thought she's not going to be super surprised, like, oh shit.
And mind you, there's no one else other than your party here, so it's not like, he
Didn't
played
yoink
a
other
practical
people.
joke on you by yoinking literally everyone around into the Feywilds. Just you guys.
All right, well,
Those are the worst.
thank you all so much for taking your time to watch the stream. I hope you enjoyed it. In case you missed a part of the stream, like half of it or so, you can be able to watch it on Twitch, but we will also be releasing a higher quality version on YouTube, and that will be released on this upcoming Wednesday at around 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Once again, if you like what you see here, you can be able to join us at our Discord, which is actually just scrolled up just a little bit in chat, where the players will be there. We'll definitely like to talk about spoilers, not spoiler section, what we expect to see or what we could possibly view to see what's going to happen in the future. And also, like I said, hopefully we would like to see you in tomorrow on the Bear Pen stream for his Vampire the Masquerade content at 2 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as Tuesday. And there you go. Streamlabs must have been reading my mind because the links just came up, and you can be able to find the Bear Pens content at the bottom of the bottom. So thank you Streamlabs for looking out for a brother. Also, as well, you can also be able to check us out on Tuesdays, where we're having our first episode of Riverwood Academy. Again, we're so looking forward to it. I cannot wait to show you all the excitement and just the greatness that we was able to experience in Session 0. Like I said, I believe you all will be in for a treat. So we look forward to see you all in it hopefully tomorrow, as well as a couple of days. See you soon. Take care for now.